Shelter Mortgage, flexibility, professionalism, and service. Let us custom build a mortgage for you.
All right, so let's get started. First, we're going to talk about creating your own market. If you got anything out of the general sales event, we realized that, you know what? The market dropped by 9% in average price. We went up 33%. Okay, if I would have told you at the beginning of the year, okay, I just want you to know that it'll be over a 40% swing in average price for our company to the market. That would have been hard for you to really digest. What that says is the company, even with around 10,000 transaction sites, okay, created their own market. Right? It's one thing to do it with small numbers. It's another thing to do it with large numbers. We created our own market regardless of what the market's doing. So the first thing, or one of the first things we're going to cover today, is how you have to realize that you create your own market. You are never affected by the market. What you are affected by is your mix of business. There's not anyone in here, regardless of how many units you've done, okay, that can be affected by the market more than you're affected by the mix of business that you do and where you're taking and spending your time. Next, we're going to talk about creating a clear plan that you can visualize in your mind's eye. I want you to, for a second, if you were, how many of you have ever been to any other state, you rented a car and you're driving around and you really don't know where you're going? Okay, pretty difficult. I don't care if you got MapQuest and everything else, it's difficult. You're not comfortable. You feel lost. Well, I want you to think back as a brand new sales executive, and if you're brand new in the business, you don't have to think back that far. I want you to think back. Remember when you first started in the business, you passed the exam, you walked in the door, and you really didn't know what to do, okay? You had that feeling of floundering. Is that true? Yeah. Okay. Now, it was okay, it was acceptable. Why? Well, I just started in the business. It's totally understandable that I wouldn't know what to do in real estate. Now, let's go back the last 5 years. Here's what I've seen. Based on the changes in the marketplace, okay, and the adjustments, we've seen now seasoned sales executives who are very good at what they do and understand the business have that feeling of floundering, okay? And they don't know. It's like they come in each day and they can't see it. So one of the other things we're going to cover today is give you that opportunity. And one of the ways that I want you to do that, I want you to visualize as you're driving in that town, the place that you're going, you don't know which street directly of how to get there, but it's a giant red building, and you can see the red building. It's huge. Is that easier for you to get there? Okay? You don't know which way, but you see, it's like seeing the strip. Well, I know I've got to go to the strip, so I know I'm going the right direction. All right? So I want you to visualize that as we go through this. Next, what we're going to work on is targeting your efforts to save money and time. There is 24 hours in a day for all of us. Okay, 24 hours in a day, period. No one's got more than that. So what we want to talk about today, too, is how do we maximize our time, okay, and maximize our money. If you spend $1, I want you to get this much value out of the dollar instead of getting this much. Does that make sense? Yes. Yeah. Oh, you say yes for him a lot louder than you say yes for me. Yeah. And then last, what we're going to cover today is, I'm going to show you today, if you follow what I'm telling you, is you will present yourself as the market expert. And I don't care if today's your first day in real estate. I will show you a way that you can present yourself as the market expert. All right, you ready? Yes. All right, cool. Show me. All right, here's what we're going to do. Everyone has one of these sheets, correct? Yeah. If you don't, there's some extra over here. Okay, if you don't, let's get them out. All right, so I want to give you one item to focus on, that red building. Now, I'm going to use my example. I'm making up these numbers for this presentation, so I'm not trying to say, well, is Mark's intention here to say that has to be my goal? No. I'm just giving you an example for this class. And what that example is, we're going to say that you need to earn $300,000. And that's to you. Remember, $300,000 to you. Okay? How many of you have gone through Restart and seen the Excel spreadsheet that John demonstrates in Restart? Raise your hand. Okay? All right, a few. If you haven't seen that, please get with management and they can help you and show you that Excel spreadsheet, which will break out even including taxes, how many units you got to do, average price, all the way down to what you need to earn to you. But for this example, let's say that number is 300,000. I want you to visualize that the 300,000 is that red building. So anytime you're feeling lost, where do you go back to? What was that?
300,000.
Okay, the red building. And what does the red building represent? 300 grand. Okay, it's 300 grand. So anytime you get lost on what to do and where to go, you go to the 300 grand. So let me give you an example on this. You've heard people talk about, I'm just going to give this as one example of many, social media. You know what? I've got to get into social media. What is the number one reason why people feel they have to get into social media? What is that? Everyone else is in social media. That is the wrong reason to get into social media. If you're going to get into social media, what does the social media have to bring you to? 300 grand. 300 grand. Okay, well, we'll key on the red building. That's good. I like that. But it's the 300 grand, right? The 300 grand represents the red building. I love that. Red building. Red building. Mark, I made nothing last year, but where are you? I live in a red building. And it's not working out for me. All right. So the red building is your $300,000. Every question, every time you're thrown the hottest new idea, the questions you should be asking is, how does this bring me to my 300,000 quicker and more efficiently? That's it. Okay? That's why social media may or may not be good for you. Let me tell you, you're all invited, you're going to be invited next year. We didn't have a big enough showing. You know, One Park Place every year does a marketing forum. All right, and invites all our sales executives from both markets. And this last year that I went, they have numerous speakers, okay? This year is all about social media. And it was speakers outside of the Prudential Network, inside of the Prudential Network, people who are really into social media and talking about it. It's really a good presentation. All right, some of the stuff they were going over, I'm going to tell you, I'm listening, and it's here. A couple messages came very, very clear from these presentations. First of all, you're either in social media or you're not. There is no, little bit pregnant when it comes to social media. Some of these people were investing up to $20,000 a month, within their social media plans. And I have to tell you, some of them were making $2-3 million a year doing it. Their world is social media. They are on it. They are doing it. This thing that I want to do it once in a blue moon, buy some leads, generate, buy my tagline on a website, all this stuff, is not social media. It's throwing money to something without a clear vision of what you expect it to do. And what is it supposed to do? 300 grand. It's got to bring you to 300 grand. So now you don't have to be confused, You don't have to be in a way of, should I do this or should I not? It's a simple question. If I'm doing this, I feel without a doubt it's keeping me on track and bringing me to my 300,000 in 2012. All right, clear. All right, let's